Good morning,
Hey, good morning.
Scott. It is Black Friday week. Thanksgiving is upon us, and a number of our sponsors are blowing it out. RealWatersports.com and SurfNVS.com.
Yeah, I believe at Real Water Sports you can get like something like $600 off Takayama surfboard.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Totally
And
nuts.
NVS, I believe our friends Leif and Jamin, I believe have is it 20% off?
25.
25% off of fins. So, I just listened to, I don't know if you listened to the Quiver podcast, I think it's called.
Quivercast.
Quivercast. And they had Rusty on there and he was talking about fins and um, you know, we've said it over and over and over, and it's probably the most misunderstood portion of the surfboard and the most important, and that is fins and fin placement. And do yourself a favor, 25% off NVS fins. Do some experimenting, man. You're going
That's
to
what I
be
was going to
blown
say.
away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. They have fins that are just outside of the norm tradition, like these Shane Horan ones that we've gotten. Straight up fins. There's actually a bit of a cant to them. I put the bases together. Actually, those are the opposite bases. So you can see they're splayed out a tiny bit, but there's really no rake on them because they're uprights. So they're just kind of unconventional, and you might not want to buy these full price as an experiment, but at 25% off, why wouldn't you? That's your opportunity.
Yeah. Well, great point. And there's those, and there's all sorts of other great fins as well. Of course, the C drives, which David and I love,
Yeah.
and they've got the Taylor Knox. I think are they called Arc?
They have the arc fins from Taylor Knox. They've got new ones, Wolverines. And I mean, Skip Fry, Album, Stu Kenson, like they have collabs with a ton of
Oh yeah, a
people.
ton of yeah.
Yeah.
Rusty.
Rusty. So go check IPA. Go check all of that stuff out that we always talk about, but now it's 25% off site wide on surfnvs.com. And then, like we were saying, Real Water Sports, that up to 80% off, it's not limited just to surfboards. You can get traction, you can get board bags, you can get clothing, you can get ice chests. Like there's all sorts of stuff on their website. So make a list for everybody in your family who might need something and get it all done at one spot on realwatersports.com.
As we see some movement at the takeoff zone, it's Kelly Slater grabbing rope.
Yeah, a guy, David. Oh my, it is the week of Thanksgiving. It's Tuesday, November 25th. And this is Spit. This is the Spit podcast. We talk all things surf. And David Lee Scales, Scott Bass with you here. David, good morning.
Morning, Scott Bass. Great to be here. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yes, yes. Happy Thanksgiving.
Is it feeling
Gratitude.
festive in your house right now?
You know what I'm doing? I'm baking bread again.
Thought you might be.
I'm back on the sourdough thing. So I'm literally the oven is preheating. This morning I was up shaping my dough, folding it, stretching it and everything. But I'm a little concerned. I don't want to go overboard. Last time I went overboard during COVID, and I'm just going to cook a few loaves every now and then again.
See, I feel the like we're now speaking the same language. The passion, the catharsis I feel from cooking. And that's why, I mean, I like eating, but also part of it is just it's therapeutic. It's the end of the day. I want to wind down, but I don't want to sit on the sofa and like be mindless. I need something. I need my hands moving a little bit. And that's what cooking is. Chopping vegetables is fantastic for that. And so I can see you're getting the same kind of benefit, therapeutic benefit out of
Yeah,
bread.
there's certainly a Zen-like quality to sort of losing yourself in the process.
Yeah, just zone out. Kind of nice way to wind down. Um, well, good. Glad to hear it. I'm sure your family will enjoy the gift of bread on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm not giving it away. Let's be
Oh,
clear.
you're going to charge your family for it?
No, they don't even get to eat it, man. It's
I
just
get you.
mine. No, of
I
course,
get you.
no. I'm looking forward to sharing the bread with. That's actually the big fun is sharing it with others.
Absolutely. So follow up from last week, we announced our upcoming Nicaragua trip in April. Guess what? Week one sold out.
With you. Nobody wants to go surfing with Scott.
It's not a popularity contest, Scott, but yes, week one sold out.
That makes sense. I was going, this is going to be interesting. I wonder whose weeks are going to sell out. That's
Look,
great. I'm glad to hear that. You know what? Less people in my trip is better.
oh my gosh, it was week one. We still have like 4 months of
I know.
advertising it,
I
so
understand.
both will fill up. And I think yours is half full actually.
Yeah.
So look, let's chalk it up as it fit their scheduling better.
Yeah. Look, we can rationalize it however we want. I think if I was an outsider and I feel like hanging out with you is probably uh, more enlightening. You know, like there's
I
more
don't
that
think
you
that's
can
true.
learn from David.
I don't think that's true at all. But
Oh,
I appreciate the compliment. I'll take the compliment. How's that?
yeah.
Thank you.
You
How
know,
are you at taking compliments?
I'm really good. My wife has taught me that, you know, what is it? She says, you know what? Don't say thank you. Say you're welcome. If somebody goes, hey, it was great. No, you don't say, I forget how, no, that's wrong. I'm butchering it. But she has a really smart way of saying it. And
I would love to know what it is
yeah,
because
me too,
I,
apparently. I need,
well, based on the way you delivered it, she's a comedian because that's hilarious to say you're welcome.
yeah, no, that's not how it goes. It's a little too early in the morning and my coffee's not up to speed here for me to remember exactly how it is. But to answer your question, you know what? Thank you. Yes, uh, I appreciate that. It's nice
Okay.
of you to notice. How's
Okay.
that? How's that?
Okay. Good
Those are
enough.
my, yeah.
My instinct is to deflect.
Right.
I don't love
Exactly.
the compliment. And then uh I guess the only compliment that I can feel actually validated by is like compliments related to the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, like I'll get really nice DMs or emails from somebody that's like clearly sincere. I feel validated by that.
Yeah.
But just in general in life, if people give me a compliment, I definitely deflect the first time, just try to like blow it off. If they come back for a second lap, I'll accept it just to get them to stop saying it. But I don't feel like it really affects my self-esteem one way or the other.
Yeah.
Compliments or insults, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, good. That sounds like you're in an enlightened space. You're emotionally mature, is what they say.
Uh, good. I'm glad to hear that's what
You're
it points
supposed to
to.
say, you're welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. That is a very nice thing of you to say to me. Well, for the regarding the listener trip in Nicaragua, here's my concern for you.
Yeah.
I don't know that you're going to be able to foil. I've never seen anybody foiling in Nicaragua. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I'm not so sure I want to go foiling there, to be honest with you. I know
Okay.
there is a spot. So last time I was in Nicaragua, my wife and I visited a spot that was like kind of like a Waikiki vibe. It was a huge bay. There was a restaurant up on the cliff on one of the points, and there was a huge bay, and it was like a longboard way. It was like there were surf schools. There was people getting pushed into soft little waves, totally foilable. But mostly, I mean, I think in April the waves are going to be pumping, and I'm going to want to go shortboarding. You know?
Okay, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Want to make sure you got your bases covered there. Well, for listeners who do want to get in on the last, I think there's maybe 5 spots left on week 2. The dates are April 19th through the 25th. It's a 6-night stay. We're staying at Two Brothers Surf Camp. There's air-conditioned villas, 3 meals a day, unlimited surf transfers by boat or truck because it's kind of on a hill overlooking Popoyo, but in that area, there are 12 plus really super fun, good waves. There's left-hand point breaks, there's rights, there's beachy, peaky beach breaks. Rancho Santana is one of the well-known waves there. Colorado's is one of the well-known beach breaks. So have access to all that, and as part of your trip, they include the trucks and the boat transfers every day, so you can just access everything.
I actually ordered a board for Nicaragua the other day,
I
like
knew it.
well, just like a stock, because I've surfed Nicaragua enough to know that you want a good three fin. You want a good stock, like simple but effective three fin surfboard, you know, because the waves have plenty of juice and speed down there. It's not like you're groveling at some soft little North County reef trying to get between sections. And so, yeah, I ordered Nick, my friend Nick at Rome Surfboards. I was randomly out surfing in Del Mar and I was in the water and I was like, I need a board that just goes where I want it to go without thinking about it, you know? And I came in, was showering off. And lo and behold, Nick was right there. I looked at him. I'm glad to see you. I want to order a surfboard. Do you remember the board I had in El Salvador that I left with the local guy?
Yeah.
That was a really good surfboard, like a 6'2" tri-fin that was very simple and just a basic, you know. So I basically ordered that. I'm like, you know what? Make me that.
Okay.
6'2" tri-fin, single concave. It's funny because this morning when we were listening to, you weren't, I was watching East and I was listening to Ellis Ericson and he's like, it's boring. 5'11", 18 and 3/4, 2 and an eighth, three fins, single down the middle. And I was like, that's exactly what I want. That's exactly what I want. I want a very simple, boring surfboard. In my case, 6'2" or whatever. But the thing is, simple works, you
Well,
know?
they've got it refined. I mean, he said it's the same thing they've been writing for 15 years.
And
And
there's a reason why.
yeah, they got it figured out.
I
Uh,
don't know. It's funny.
how
Like it's just,
how
yeah.
beefy did you make yours?
2 5/8, which is my thickness always, 2 5/8, which is obviously a little bit over 2.5. But, it's probably 20 1/4 or 20.5 inches wide and a little wider nose, just slightly wider nose, and just a simple round tail.
What length?
6'2".
Yeah. So amazing, great. I know Nick will knock it out of the park. However, you didn't already have a thruster in your quiver.
No, because I left that board with that really cool guy, the surf guide down in El Salvador. That was my thruster.
That was your one thruster. What
I
happened
mean,
to
that's
the
6'2". Like I've got 6'6".
what about that sharp eye?
That never, I think I rode that board once. And it was just
Oh,
like,
okay.
this thing's built for a 21-year-old.
Oh, okay.
It was a bit chaotic. I'm not saying
Gotcha.
it wasn't a good board. It just didn't fit the 60-year-old mojo.
Okay. Got it. I still think there's a thruster in your quiver that's barely been ridden that's eager to be
I
ridden
swear there
again.
isn't. Like because when people go, what do you want? I'm like, I'll have a twin fin, I'll have a quad fin, I'll have a twinser. Like I rarely go, I'll make me a thruster.
Okay. Well, good. You did that way in advance. So I have a feeling there may be another board or two on offer or on order between now and April.
Yeah. Yeah, there probably will be. In fact, yesterday I was on Chris Christenson's showroom website and I was very, very close to pushing the button on a fish. But then I realized I'm just going to go visit Chris at a showroom and see what's there and feel it up
Yeah.
and kind of get a sense for it. But I do feel like I need a traditional fish in my quiver.
Have you been to his new showroom?
Yeah, it's amazing. And
Newer showroom?
it's very hard to leave without a board under your arm because it's just
Yeah.
stocked with really beautiful surfboards and yeah.
Really beautiful. Um, he did maybe a month ago, I think Michael Ciamarella on Stab did a Joyride, which is his surfboard review series. He did a Joyride on two Christensens, and I thought the boards looked incredible. Like Mikey surfs good all the time,
Yeah.
but because you get to watch these Joyride series, you really do see how boards perform for him. And I thought those were some of the best performing boards that I've seen him ride and Joyride. And
What boards were
he
they?
kind
Do
of
you
agreed.
remember?
Uh, so he has a high performance series, a HP1, HP2, HP3, and I forget if
Is
I
it
think eight,
HP or OP?
I want to say HP. So it
Yeah.
was the number three, and then the other one was a twin, like a high performance twin pin.
And which one, how big was the twin pin? Were they all his size boards? Were they all Mikey's
Uh,
size?
yeah, Mikey's small. I want to say the twin fin was maybe like 5'8".
Yeah.
Um,
He
I
made
can
me,
I can just
yeah.
send you. I'll send you the Joyride feature. You're right. OP. I don't know why
Yeah.
I said
Ocean
HP.
Pro Series. Yeah. The Ocean Pro Series. That's kind of his short board, high
So,
performance three fin.
Okay, so the OP3, which is I think the one that Mikey rode, is a high performance swallowtail board designed for stomach to DOH surf. This is our most versatile and user-friendly performance model in the OP series. Okay, that's right. That's what it was. OP1 is like the high performance, and then this one's a little bit more user-friendly, but it's still obviously performance.
And that's the
Uh,
OP3, the swallowtail. Okay, I'm looking at it.
yeah, recommended length is 0 to 1 inch shorter than your height.
What's the OP4? Do you know off the top of your hands? Because I'm looking at it. It's a round tail. It looks pretty nice.
I thought it was just OP1 through 3, but I
No,
guess I'm
there's an
wrong.
OP4.
Okay.
Anyway, this
Well,
is what I was
anyways,
looking at yesterday. I was geeking out on these Christiansons.
like I said, the Joyride series from Stab. Check
Yeah,
out that video.
yeah. Okay, good.
I'm pulling it up real. Oh, by the way, another thing. Um, since I just pulled up YouTube to look that up, I got fed the Raglan Surf Report's latest skit.
Yeah,
And I was telling you while we were in Florida together at the Florida Surf Film Festival, he filmed this skit with Turtle from John Philbin, who plays Turtle in North Shore. And he just published it yesterday on Instagram and YouTube. So if you want to watch that, it's called How to Pay for Respect. And it is hilarious.
that is so great.
Yeah. So check that out. Not my must see moment, but you should still see it. Anyways, Nicaragua, if you want to join Scott, I gave you the dates April 19th through the 26th. It's going to be super fun, and there's just a few spots available. It will sell out. And then later in the year, in August, we will start, or we'll advertise in a month or two, August Chicama trip as well. So if you can't make
Cool.
it to Nicaragua, maybe you can make it to Peru. But should we talk about E3 since you referenced Ellis?
Yes, we absolutely should. But before we do that, I'm going to ask you a question.
A
Okay.
must, a who said
No,
that?
no, it's not who said that, but it's basically a plug for something that I just got that I'm super psyched on. So there are breakthrough and groundbreaking moments in surfing. Can you name, say, two of them?
Sure. The invention of the fin,
Okay,
and,
that's a good one. That
and
one's a
let
good.
and let's say Simon Anderson's thruster.
Okay, those are both good ones. I have here when we went from balsa to foam surfboard course. That was a major breakthrough. That was a breakthrough that we're still holding on to. And then the other one was when we went from the rubber bungee cord leash to the urethane leash. That was a major breakthrough. These are breakthroughs that we all just sort of take for granted, but there was a time when what we're using now wasn't the gold standard. And now I submit to you the 40-year-old standardized fit booty is a thing of the past, as the new custom 3D molded booty is a complete game changer. I got my new booties, I tested them out, and they have this, these things are like, they're like wetsuit socks, but with, I mean, that's how comfortable and well fitting they are. They
Yeah.
have like a suction to them, like,
Yeah.
they suction up onto your foot and, but they have strength and, like they're not like a wetsuit sock that'll rip after 3 sessions or whatever. So I'm convinced that this is something I would suggest to you, even within the next 2 years, every I believe probably every wetsuit company will switch to this if they can. I don't know if it's patented or whatever, but this is going to be something that we all just adopt naturally over the course of the next 2 years because it is such a game changer, much like balsa to foam or the rubber bungee cord to the urethane leash.
Yeah, they look incredible. I saw the video of yours once you received it last week, and I've actually felt these at the boardroom show. I got to check them out a bit. I was already sold on the 3D printing aspect, having it, molded specifically to your foot. But what I was impressed by at the boardroom show was that Kevlar reinforced woven lining, then dipped. So that's the inside. Um, but then it's dipped on the outside into a Kevlar infused rubber. And that part is proprietary. And so that has like a certain gription to it. It grips the surfboard a little bit better, but it's also because of the Kevlar, stronger. So it's not like wetsuits generally wear out. And you probably, I don't know, you probably couldn't put that Kevlar on the entire wetsuit, maybe because it would limit flexibility or something. But on the foot, certainly the base part of the booty, it's more bulletproof than all the other rubber I've ever had on booties, and it's more pliable. And then that little amount of gription. And when I was talking to Rob about it, he goes, "Yeah, we actually tested through like a bunch of different versions of this. Some of it was too grippy and you couldn't move your foot. So you want the amount to where you can slide your feet around, but it still has a little bit of texture on it." And they nailed it. So it's like not only the best fit, but warmth and then durability as well, which is kind of the ultimate combo.
Yeah, it's my understanding that the 40-year-old standardized fit booty that's out there now that will be obsolete. One of its issues is that they bake those booties, they cook those booties in an oven to get them to form.
Mm,
And when you do that, you lose a lot. And so
flexibility and stuff.
these Colby 3D booties, like I said, everybody, I think all the wetsuit companies are going to have to go to this eventually.
Awesome, man. Well, good. I'm glad they worked out.
Yeah.
Colby Plus.
It's this this is, mark this date in history because this
Okay.
is a moment when there's a seismic shift.
Just like we reflect back on Hobie Alter and Gordon Clark tinkering away in their garage in Laguna Niguel or wherever
Very
that
similar.
was. We
Yes,
got Rob,
Jack O'Neill losing an eyeball because of the bungee cord leash.
we got Rob Colby tinkering away on the computer. Awesome.
What do you got? You want to go east?
Well, look, man, he talked
Yeah,
about Ellis. Opening the episode with Ellis, I feel like preaching the gospel. Like I mean, maybe controversial,
that's good.
what he stated, but I really did feel like he was preaching the gospel there, and it kicked off the episode in a better way for me. I was just into this episode more, basically, because of
Yeah,
that opening
yeah,
statement. And I'm a fan of Ellis in general, and you know, um, the boards. I don't know. Well, no, the board's still in. I think Ellis's board is still in.
it is.
Yeah. Um, he's obviously on the fringe doing what he's doing, and it's not for everybody. But if you watch him ride his boards, he's killing it, And so I love that of just somebody who's really focused on their lane and they understand their lane and they know how to ride it to its fullest expression and it suits their surfing perfectly. And I think he's also very astute about design and a very great communicator. And so that's another thing that I felt like was missing from the first few episodes, where the only communication you were getting from the Shapers was in their telephone call with Michael February. So it was limited and it was before the board's even designed. So it's just kind of, here's theoretically what I'm going to make for you. But now that we're getting kind of to the pointy end and you're getting the interviews with the Shapers and they're able to fully explain this stuff, I find it to be a lot more interesting. So I love the
Yeah,
kickoff for the episode.
yeah, I would agree with you. It did start off and engaged us right away, and Ellis is does have some opinions which are good. Like we want some something to chew on, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is, how good is the South Shore of Oahu? We never, in the 14 years that we've been recording this podcast, we've never talked about the South Shore of Oahu.
The entire episode, instead of watching the boards, I was trying to figure out where he was surfing. I was kept finding myself going, "Oh yeah, I gotta watch the board." I was watching the wave, going, "Oh, it's got that little crumble there. It might be this spot." Oh, I'm pretty sure it's somewhere between like Kewala Basin and what towards it's in that Koala Basin zone, I think.
Yeah. I have a buddy whose boss had a house over in one of those neighborhoods. And so we could get in there and surf on that side. And there's so many fun waves.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's a sick zone.
I mean, it was pumping too, so they got like a really solid south swell.
Yeah. I mean, look, the South Shore gets totally overlooked. I don't know. Maybe not. It's actually crowded and,
It is.
but it gets overlooked in terms of the media. Um, and obviously they didn't disclose any of the spots in that. So,
No.
but it's just that turquoise, the water is a different color than it is on the North Shore. It's really good, but it's not as heavy as the North Shore. It's like more user friendly, rippable. And I thought really a phenomenal choice for the style of boards that Mikey's riding too.
Yeah, first up was the Simon Jones. It's 6'3". Um, you know, one of the issues here is that Mikey February has sort of a baseline of these CI boards that he's been riding for a long time. And basically, it feels like every one of these boards in E.A.S.T has to live up to these incredible Channel Islands boards that they've honed and dialed in. And on some level, it seems kind of is unfair the wrong word?
I don't think unfair is the wrong word. I think that Mikey isn't adapting his surfing to get the best out of those boards. Like I feel like his approach on those boards is the exact same as it is on his boards that he's used to riding. I think Torrin Martin, who has showcased those Simon Jones boards the best, his stance is not as narrow and it's further up to the middle of the deck. And so he's the parts that are catching for Mikey. I think he's even talking about the front third of the board keeps catching. I'm like, it doesn't have that problem for Torrin just because of his foot placement. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think Mikey could have maybe gotten more out of the boards if he would have made some adjustments, but
I
I
have a
don't know.
theory, and that is that it could be stated that perhaps the best surfers for the East are surfers like Torrin Martin, who aren't necessarily known for super high performance, straight up gouging fin release, WCT style, top to bottom surfing. And the reason I say that is that those guys that do surf in that WCT, like Mikey February's in that style, all the boards have to live up to that baseline. Whereas if you get a
It's
guy
true.
like Rasta, although Rasta surfs like that, but Rasta's a totally different beast. Um, like Torn Martin, guys that are maybe alternative, for lack of a better phrase, alternative craft surfers by nature or in their identity. Like that's what they do. They're a little bit more, they project more down the line. They have a high line sort of vibe to their surfing style. The beauty of having those guys as the test pilots is that when you get them on, say, stretches, noseless bat tail, or any of these boards, they have those moments during this production, during this content, where they're like, oh, I went way out into the flats and went straight up. And I never do that. My surfing on these 7-2 round boards is way more, down with a roundhouse and a hand flare at the end or whatever. And I don't know if you're following my line of
Yeah.
logic here, but I feel like, and we've had this problem before, right? With one of the Aussie kids that rips that,
Sean Manners.
yeah. I think we need to focus on like Alex Snows. Like Alex Snows would be a great example of this, and I think Torrin Martin. But you get the idea. That
Yeah.
kind of surfer that isn't WCT level, top to bottom, rip it up. Boom, boom.
Well, you know what's interesting? You brought this up with episode one. I think it's an astute observation, and I did not see it coming because I would have thought that Mike February fit the bill for what you're talking about as a comparable to Torrin Martin. Um, I didn't realize he was such a high performance surfer until you watch this and you realize he is best suited for the thruster. And, Channel Islands has done a great job developing the twin pin and these other models with him that are thruster adjacent, but they still allow him to unlock that style of surfing. Um, but he is exactly what you're talking about. He is looking to blow fins out and rip the bag out of it. He just does it with so much style and panache that I had somehow in my brain categorized him as um, styly free surfer, but he's much more akin to Joel Parkinson than he is Torrin Martin.
Yeah, and some of it is too, look, I mean, he comes from long right-hand point breaks in South Africa. He now lives in an area of California that has long right-hand point breaks. Those style of waves work good with boards that aren't going straight up and down because you're driving, 70-yard sections on one bottom turn, and they're just made for more drawn out surfing. But it doesn't mean that he in his heart doesn't have that Dane Reynolds, let's go straight up there. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, a couple other details. Simon Jones is a guru. When Simon gets on camera, just his aura and his presence, I'm captivated by it
You're in love with Simon Jones.
a
How many
little
of those
bit.
boards behind you are Simon Jones surfboards?
I'll tell you what, I only have one and I've ordered three.
Really?
I ordered after Mason Ho picked that Simon Jones board for his electric acid surf protest, he and Coco. I think Coco might have picked the album, but Mason picked the Simon Jones. I ordered a couple and then we never got them. We've been in communication since, and I think he's changed his business a little bit.
Yeah.
Used to be Morning of the Earth, and then now he's just doing Simon Jones labels. So I think he was kind of in flux at the time, and I might have just got lost in the mix, but I want more, is my point. And whenever I hear him talk, I'm like, he speaks my language, and I just feel like he's got more to say, and I want to glean all of it. So,
Well, when I watch these things and I watch Mikey surf, I take little notes, like as I'm watching it, I'm like, okay. And my notes on the Simon Jones was the board looked really good and I would absolutely love to ride it. And it's kind of in my wheelhouse. It was like a 6'3", a twin pin. I don't mind having a wider nose area up there. I'm used to that. Now it could be there was one moment when I caught sort of that sort of rocker vision or the rocker view of the board, and it looked pretty flat up there too. That could be why Febs maybe feels like the nose is the ears of the nose are sort of getting in the way a little bit. Maybe just a touch more nose rocker. But of course, that's now you're getting a nuance. I mean, that's sort of the beauty of these longer boards is that they have flat rockers so that you can carry the rail the whole way. So anyway, I thought the board looked pretty nice, but apparently Febs threw that one out. It's now out of the mix.
yeah, unfortunately. The other thing that I appreciated about this episode was what I had mentioned with the previous episode is the deep dive into history or any deep dive. I mean, in the last episode, I referenced history. In this episode, they did that a little bit with the buttons reference and the dive into buttons, and then his son coming down and bringing a board, Button's son coming down, Mario. Which, by the way, I didn't know anything about Mario. I've never seen him before, but how cool is it that he has his dad's same chest tattoo? Did you notice that?
That is, yeah, I did. That was super cool. And you're right. That was one of those sort of sweet magic moments of these episodes that you're excited for.
Just like, again, broadening, I don't know, a deeper dive into the context surrounding the characters and all that kind of stuff that we know and love in surfing. So I appreciated that. And the other thing was the deep dive with Britt Merrick,
Yeah.
because it's like, um, Britt's obviously, for everything I've said about any of the other shapers in terms of like being astute, being a good communicator, being kind of a guru, Britt also fits all of those. And always great to hear a deep dive from him. So to get into kind of the twin pin and how they landed on that and watching all the footage of Mike testing them all out,
See,
I thought was also valuable.
and you're absolutely right. Britt's wonderful. And in fact, Britt's another example that helps me to sort of solidify my thought that a, s- a good surfer shaper should be the guy that is the surfer in this. And it could be Britt Merrick. He knows surfboard design. He surfs really well. He's an everyday kind of surfer, like his level of surfing is like, you or me. Like, I mean, he's, I would say like advanced intermediate surfer. He's been around, he knows how to surf really well. And he communicates well. And so him, Alex Nost, um, of course, Ryan Birch is the big one that comes to mind. Um, but there's a lot of other guys out there. Maybe Shima Buttonshaw. I mean, there's
Tomo,
so many.
Daniel Thompson.
Yeah, Tomo would be really good. Although Tomo does fit that. Tomo's got a CT mindset. Tomo wants to go straight up, bust fins out, and do airs. And
Yeah.
so he might, I almost feel like if there's a guy that's like Britt's level, like my level, like your level, that's not necessarily a pro high performance CT level surfer, but that has the chops to ride the boards and communicate how he feels about the boards. And I think Britt fits that mold. And I think Alex knows absolutely. And do you think that Daniel's almost too good of a surfer?
Yeah, but I've no offense to Brit, but I want to see a professional surfer. I think if you try to watch 4 or 6 45-minute episodes packed with somebody surfing, I don't
No,
want to watch
you're
me surfing.
no, but I've seen Brit surf. I mean,
No, he
from the
surfs good, but
from
he's
the
not a
objective
professional level.
standpoint of you're not looking at this for eye candy, for surf porn. You're looking at this to determine, you know, the nuances of surfboard design.
Yeah. I like the idea of Brit's communication and being able to analyze all the other boards that he's riding, but if we're going to watch 45 minutes of it, I need to see him getting drained and doing big hacks. No offense, Brit.
Wow.
What did you think of the stretch board that you referenced? Stretch 5150.
Um, it's a very interesting board. Kudos to Stretch for sort of kind of going with the theme of the East, and he put out a unique surfboard that is certainly different and and you know I thought Feb surfed well on it. I mean, we've all seen Nathan Florence surf great on it. Um,
Well, that's what I liked about that particular model was with all these other surfboards, we don't really have a reference point for how somebody else surfs it. At the most, you've seen Derek Disney ride his own board, and Kobe or sorry, I'm blanking on, is it Kobe, the kid
Kobe
from
Hughes,
Encinitas? Kobe Hughes, thank you.
yeah.
Kobe riding his own board, but those are the only reference points you have. With that stretch board, we've seen how that board can be ridden by professional surfers. And Mikey has seen that. And you would think that professional surfers are good enough just to get on that board and then ride it like the other professional surfer does. This is a great example of no. Nathan surfs a certain type of way. Harry Bryant surfs a certain type of way, and they can maximize, they can get out of that board what we've seen. But Feb's, it doesn't translate necessarily to Feb's.
It's funny. I think of Nathan Florence, and I think of
Fletcher.
Fletcher, excuse me, and I think of Harry Bryant, and I say, yeah, those guys too might be good surfers for this. But then I think the most crucial thing is the ability to communicate how you feel. And I'm not saying that Nathan and Harry couldn't communicate effectively. I actually like it when Nathan Fletcher's on camera. I mean, he brings total raw honesty. Like you're not going to get any. He's probably going to go, this board's a piece of shit. This board's unreal. I loved it. I'm going to order 4 of them.
Yeah.
So that part you like, but can they convey the stuff that I feel like Brit or another shaper could convey?
No, they can't.
Yeah. I
And they
think
would
we
have
need a
just
shaper as
well,
the surfer.
they would have just as hard of a time transferring, their skills to another certain type of board. I thought that board specifically illustrated that you got to find what's right for you. Like that, it just does not always translate, no
What
matter how
if
much
you
success other
had,
people have.
sorry to interrupt you. I apologize. I just had a little, what if you had a series of shapers all ride, 6 different boards? Like you had Biolas, who's like on the same level as Britt as far as he knows how to surf. He can get down the wave face and do turns and rip. So you had Biolas, Britt Merrick, and Birch, or like that would be pretty interesting, right? You have those 3 shapers. They get 6 boards, the same 6 boards, 10 boards, whatever it is.
They can't ride the same boards. They're all different shapes and sizes
Okay, well they all get the same board, but to the dimensions of,
for them.
yeah.
It's too complicated. I like where you're going, but
Open your brain, man. Open it.
it becomes you're just adding complexities, and I think really we need to be eliminating the complexities and isolating variables here.
Okay,
There's
you're
too
right.
many variables. I
You're probably,
like,
you're
look, in a
probably,
perfect world where you have an unlimited time and budget, sure,
yeah.
let's do that too. But I just don't think it's very practical.
I would suggest to you that Biolis and Britt would ride the same size boards. They're both like,
Could
you
be.
know, I mean, I think Biolis kind of goes up and down. He's in pretty good shape last time I saw him, but I bet he's like a buck 80, and I bet Britt's a buck 90. So they could probably ride the same boards.
Dude, I think he might got, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't think either of them are that weight.
Engaging. You're not stoked to see that pop up in your email from from Sam McIntosh. Can't wait to watch Britt and Biolis
I mean, I like the
surf
idea.
T Street.
You know what I do like about this idea is the battle of the shapers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't like adding all the boards might be a little too complicated. Let's get them on their best boards that they know and love, and let's see a heat. Throw
Okay.
Paizel into the mix.
Yeah.
Throw Marcio into the mix.
Yeah.
DH. Superheat. Now I'm in.
Now we're way off the reservation here.
Well, the other one, speaking of Paizel, Mike Febb's riding the Ghost. What are your thoughts
Yeah.
on that?
My thoughts are it just continues to prove to us that it was a mistake to have a Paizel Ghost in this event.
Because it's
That's,
so distinctly different.
yeah, I mean they kind of did a good job of rationalizing it. He's like, I got a twin fin, I got a single fin, I got a Bonzer, I got a friggin' McTavish, I've got quads. Why not have also include a three fin? We are doing this past, present, and future theme, but it's far and away the best looking board,
Yeah.
especially in the waves that he's riding it in, 4 to 5 foot, beautiful South Shore. Um, I don't know.
Yep. I agree. Like seeing him, any version of surfing that he was doing on any of the other boards, he just did to a double degree, twice as good and
Yeah.
tighter turning and higher air, all that kind of stuff on that board. It was just, it looked incredible.
I mean, I saw him do down carves on that board, and I'm not sure I remember. I'm not saying he didn't, but I don't remember him doing down carves on any of these other boards. But just the nature of that board after his top turn, he was just holding the rail and going back down it towards the left. And yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Really impressive. Well, moving on, unless you had anything else on East.
No,
Or
that's
we
about it. I
should,
can tell you that the McTavish, the Barrett Miller, the Simon Jones are gone, and the Jerry Lopez, which I'm not even sure he surfed.
I never saw him catch a wave on it.
I think
I was
yeah,
spending time with the kid while I was watching it, so I might have looked away, but I didn't see him right away.
I didn't either. I kind of skipped through. I watched it. I saw the board, and I'm like, okay, we're going to see some. And I fast forwarded it, and then they were on Ellis Ericson's board. Like, I think he might have, and we should probably watch it. But I think he might have, out of respect, just said, I'm going to put this aside and not even put this in the thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. Like I said, I watched the whole thing, but Austin needed my attention a little bit throughout. So, but anyways, the Jerry is out as well.
Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and we'll continue this discussion about some other stuff, including
Well,
perhaps the Surf Rider Foundation and
Sunset Beach, new WCT rules for 2026. We'll get into it all.
two new WCT competitors, old but new. Welcome back, Spit Podcast, David.
Thank you. Well, Sunset Beach wrapped up, I think 24, 48 hours ago. Did you even know that this event was happening, Scott?
I vaguely did. Did Finn McGill win?
Finn McGill won on the men's side. Kiara Gould, French Polynesia, 15-year-old, won on the women's side. This event was not streaming live, but they did have cameras, so they posted highlights on their WSL's YouTube channel. This is the first of what would have been a Triple Crown series in past years, but it's basically a QS 2000 now. They're going to Haleiwa next, and then they're going to Pipeline on December 10th. The waves were pumping. Like this was 10-foot sunset every day of the comp, and it was pretty wild.
Yeah, I saw some every time I watch a sunset event and I see a guy take off on the catch the white water and ride the inside section. I'm a little saddened that there aren't guys out on 7/8s and 8/4s, windmilling down West Peak drops. I sense that they all just let it crumble and come to them, and then they just pick up the inside for the tube section. And
It's still
I don't know.
it's still wily and fun to watch, and being able to squeeze a turn in is so freaking impressive and challenging. The board's chattering the whole time. The other thought that I had watching the barrel section,
Yeah.
it's so unconventional for a barrel. And I mean, I've always known and witnessed that it's wily and hard to make. But the thought that I had watching it now is like the hydrodynamics of any other barrel, certainly Chopu, certainly Pipeline, is such that the way the wave contours, it has energy. There's a line in the barrel, and that line is full of energy that's pushing you through. The Sunset barrel is not like that. It's just a lump of water that throws out, and it's like if you get up into that high line, it's not the same energy level that's pushing you through the throat of the wave. It's like you have to be drawing your energy from wherever you pumped from, or you're on the face. Now you have to shoot down the face to make it out of the barrel. There's not that same funnel like energy that's pushing you out the end of the barrel. You are generating your own speed basically. And that wave obviously has so much power in it that you've probably got a lot of speed that you've generated up until that point. But it's really just a heaving section that you happen to be in the right position for at that time. But it's up to you to freaking figure out how to get out of that thing because it's just a glorified chandelier basically. You hope that it's girthy enough to where you can run for
Yeah.
it, but it's totally different.
Yeah, no, I think you did a really good job of explaining it and characterizing it. And it's just a massive lump of water that just heaves over. And it's the kind of thing like the bigger the wave, the better your chances of getting out. If it's a medium-sized one, it's going to probably clamp on you.
Well, for so many waves around the world that barrel, you can stall into the tube knowing that once it pitches over you, the funneling energy is going to shoot you out and spit you out. This does not have that. If you pulled into the tube with no projection at sunset, you are getting flexed. There's
Yeah.
no chance of that thing
Ooh,
shooting you out.
it hurts too. It's a slap down. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's insane.
Wow.
Anyways, killer event. Too bad it wasn't streamed, but you can watch I'll post actually the highlight reel from the finals day on surfsplendorpodcast.com. Did you see these new rules for 2026 for the CT?
No.
So this is all part of, the initial conversation about getting rid of the elimination round. There's no mid-season cut. All of that was kind of the headlines, but we didn't understand how that all necessarily plays out. So they've given a little bit of more detail, and Stab Magazine reported on it. And the two main takeaways here are the top seeds avoid round one. So it used to be there was an opening round and then there was an elimination round. If you made it through the first round, you'd leapfrog past the elimination, then the elimination round cuts. Well, basically, what they're really eliminating is the first round.
I see.
So the opening round is an elimination round,
Right.
but
But the top
not
seeds are in
everybody
round two.
surfs in it.
The top seeds
Correct.
are seeded in round two. The first round is the lower seeds grinding to see how they get placed into the next round.
Exactly. So specifically for the men, 29 through 30 are going to surf in that opening two-man elimination round.
You mean
29 through
20 through 30?
sorry, 29 through 36.
29 through 36, right.
29
Is
through
it 32
36.
or 36?
Well, it's 32 plus a wild card or two and an injury replacement. It's 36 total.
Okay. So 29 through 36. Is that what you said? Or 20 through 36?
29 through 36 surf in four two-man heats. 8 surfers surf in two-man heats in the opening round. The winner of that, so 4 people will then advance to the round of 32.
That's interesting.
So 8 surfers in that opening round, elimination, go into the round of 32. And For the women, let's see, for the women, the back 16 will surf head to head, and the winners will meet up with the top 8 women who are already seeded straight into the second round. So a
That's
little
kind of
bit more
cool.
consequential for the women. But the other detail, so that's that. The other detail is no reseeding. So basically, you know exactly who you're going to match up against from the opening
Right.
draw. So number 1 seed, Yago Dora, will
He'll
surf
face
against
whoever the highest, the lowest seed
number
that made it.
36.
If 36 makes it through, it could be number 35 or 34.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. So I think John Florence is going to enter this season in 36th position,
I
probably.
love this. I think this is great that they're not reseeding because
Yeah.
this is what I was talking about, where, especially on the women's side, well, now on the men's side too. I mean, Gabe and John Florence, that's sort of the hidden bury the lead situation here is that Gabe and John are back on tour. If you didn't already know, last week they announced it. So those two guys are going to be going up against Yago in round one
See,
or
the
against the
one,
second seed who is, I don't know, Jack Robinson or somebody.
yes, but there's a rule for the injury wild card, which Gabriel Medina has. I'm going to try to pull up the rule real quick. So Gabe actually doesn't have as low of a seed as John has because
So
the nature of the injury.
John's wild card was not an injury wild card. John was just like, we're gifting this to you, but you're in 36th spot.
That's
Gabe's was
correct.
like, hey, you were grinding and then you got hurt, so we're gonna put you into a spot that's more in line with where you probably would have been when you were injured or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to pull up the rule right now and I don't see it, so I
Mhm.
apologize. But you basically stated it.
That is
Okay, here it
very
goes.
interesting.
According to the WSL rulebook, a surfer who has received a men's WSL wildcard due to injury will be allocated base seed points based on the following. One, if their ranking before the injury was top 10, then they're seeded 13th. Two, if they were in the top 20, they'll be seeded 25th. And if number three, if they were anywhere else, they'll be seeded 34th. So I think Gabe probably was in the top 10, which means he should get seeded 13th.
Very interesting the way that will play out because now you've got Yago versus John in probably quite a few events. And it's just, I mean, it's good for us. It's good for the, the end user, the consumers, the fans. And it could really create rivalries where maybe rivalries haven't existed in the past. But if you're going to get John versus Yago, and which you're probably going to get, we're going to see head to head, and it's going to eventually those guys are going to get at each other and get a little bit, get on each other's nerves or
I think it's good across the board. I think it is good for the spectator for sure, but I think also it's good for the competitors to freaking just cut cut the chaff. Like it just when guys like Gabriel Medina came on tour, he was unstoppable. He did not make mistakes. He did not lose heats. Let's see everybody do that. If you can't do that, you shouldn't be on the championship tour. Go ahead, go back to the QS, go to the CS, try to figure it out there. But if you don't come in with that level of perfection and
yeah,
excellence, you can't be on the CT
yeah,
because far too long you've had 4 or 5 chances. You've had multiple chances in any given event and then multiple chances throughout the season to just wash away entire events like they didn't even matter. And it's like at this level, we're looking for perfection.
yeah, yeah.
So
I agree.
bring it,
So it is good. It is good.
bring it.
Yeah. Well, those are some interesting rule changes, and I think it's exciting and have Gabe and John and Carissa Moore and Stephanie Gilmore. I mean, the WSL's got to be feeling pretty good about their ability to market their events based on they've got the stars.
Totally. No, it's shaping up to be a really, really phenomenal season. Best one in a long time, actually, because the format's all shifted in ways that we wanted it to make it more exciting. And they've got the best surfers from yesteryear with the best surfers up and coming. So
Yeah.
super exciting.
I mean, the amount of world titles between Steph and Carissa and Gabe and John, I don't know, you're looking at quite a few and they're low seeds, they're not even low
Crazy.
seeds.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, Scott Bass, I know, look, in recent years, we've learned we need to avoid Got to watch out for SUPs in the lineup. Then the frickin' foil got introduced. Now we got to look out for foilers in the lineup. Do you want to see the latest controversy?
Sure. Why not? Why not bring a little controversy?
Can you see my screen?
Oh, the canoe.
Did you
Oh,
see this?
no, I didn't see this.
Outrigger canoe at Waimea.
Yeah.
Check this thing out. Straight over the top. I mean, that is as gnarly a position to be in as possible. Surf Canoe takes off on a legit wave, by the way.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to watch this footage, come on over to YouTube. But basically, this is a young girl. Her name's Polly Ralda. And she's a big wave surfer originally from Guatemala who had dreams of big waves and thus moved to the North Shore of Oahu, kicking off the winter season with a board to the face as she dodged an outrigger canoe while in the lineup at sizable Waimea. So she posted this on her Instagram account. This is a drone shot, but this isn't like a lully Waimea wave that the canoe is taking off on. They took off kind of on a steep section. And actually, so all the surfers, I mean, they're going to be deeper in the lineup, of course, like a foiler or a stand-up paddler to have entry into the wave. And so when this set pops up, all the surfers are clamoring to get to the shoulder of the wave. This girl was kind of in the back of the line. What, Scott?
I mean, therein lies the problem, perhaps. Don't be scrambling for the shoulder. Take your beatings and go towards the point.
Hey, great advice, especially when you're surfing swamis. A little bit different when you're surfing 20-foot Waimea. You're on a 9-foot gun.
No doubt. No
I
doubt.
mean, that is the right advice. It's just that's
The thing is,
sketchy.
I mean, there's no right, not right answer. Or, I mean, a couple things. First of all, surfing's dangerous. Going in the water is dangerous. When you surf with 40 people on 9-foot surfboards, it's dangerous. When you add outrigger canoe to the situation, it's more dangerous. And so at some point you have to ask yourself, do I want to put myself in a dangerous situation? And if I do, then I'm going, okay, well, it could turn out bad. And in this
100%.
situation, it turned out horrible and it's unfortunate. But I mean, there's a lot of deeper themes that run through this. Like
Totally.
the outrigger canoe guys have been doing that for like, I don't know, let's say 4,500 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and, and I'm sure those guys in that boat, it's probably some gnarly dudes.
For
Like,
sure.
I don't know who, but I'm sure it's, whoever
They're
it is. It's
they're doing
probably
it.
like Brian Kailana's cousin or something like that. Some guys
They're,
from Makaha that are just charging it over there.
dude, they're doing it at 20-foot Waimea and also holding it. Like that was a
Yeah, they're
crazy
kind of
line
killing
they
it.
took. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of killing it. So,
That
um, you know,
so if I were in that position as Polly Ralda, which by the way, I don't think she was even complaining. On her Instagram post, she wasn't saying like
yeah, yeah.
I'm the
She kind of
victim there to
knows.
blame. Yeah.
Yeah,
But if I was out there and I saw those guys out there in the outrigger, it's actually different than the foil and the SUP. I probably shouldn't have set it up that way because I would know this is rightfully theirs. Like I'm the interloper in their lineup basically, and I would be sitting so far clear of anywhere that they are positioned to go
yeah,
that I would hope to never be in that situation that she was in. But the other thing is there's no minute adjustments on big craft like that. So once that
right.
outrigger's locked in,
Yeah,
it's just going and they
yeah,
can't adjust. And she is on such a big board that she also can't adjust. It's like once she realized she was in the path, they're moving so fast, you don't have time to make an adjustment and you don't have the nimbleness to make the adjustment. So she was just like, oh crap. So she dodged or she bailed her board and dove under, which I think was the right move. Unfortunately, that meant her board got ran over directly. It was like a perfectly perpendicular T-bone. They ran over her board. Amazingly, she didn't get hit by the canoe. It was her own board that ended up hitting her in the head. And the injury wasn't that bad. Like it split her eye, but from what I understand, it was a superficial wound. There was no concussion, there was no bigger incident. Probably got a couple of stitches, but No big
You got a
deal.
great story, man. That is a great story with video to prove it.
The
You're
drone footage is perfect.
telling that story forever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I thought that was really footage that could go viral. Surprised it hasn't.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That should go viral.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
let's acknowledge Surfrider Foundation because look.
Oh, they're on my list, my stories here.
Oh yeah, what's the story?
The Surfrider Foundation is raising major red flags over a new Trump administration federal proposal that would reopen huge stretches of the U.S. coastline to offshore oil and gas drilling. The draft 5-year Outer Continental Shelf leasing program could greenlight drilling in formerly protected areas throughout California, the Gulf of Mexico, and Alaska's remote high Arctic, where drilling has never been attempted due to extreme hazards. For coastal communities, surfers, and ocean economies, the stakes are massive. And I took that straight from Surfer Magazine. So, Surf Rider Foundation, red flags.
Huge red flags, unnecessary, way gaudy, over the top. But go to surfrider.org, click on Drilling is Killing, and then you can sign the petition. They're going to be campaigning against this for to Congress. So if you want to sign that petition, they will do the lobbying for you. And but let your voice be heard because numbers do matter in situations like this. And then while you're there, consider becoming a member because the ocean's health is essential for humanity's health. We cannot live without healthy oceans. So support the work that they're doing there at your level of you can determine how much you want to contribute. 25, I think I do $25 a month. But you could do $1 a month, $5 a month, whatever you're comfortable with. Surfrider.org. Scott, I got a kook. We never do kooks anymore. Duke and kook section. You want a kook?
Sure.
There's a video that did go viral actually and was published on Hawaiian news channels about a dude carrying a turtle. Turtle is lounging on the sand and a dude goes up for a photo op and lifts it, moves it out of position, fully lifts the thing, doesn't like pet it and leave it alone, like lifts it, moves it around.
What do you mean pet it?
Yeah,
What do you
I
mean
could
he
see a
didn't
guy
pet it?
petting
You said that as if it's okay to pet him.
It's not okay. That would be less offensive though than moving the turtle.
Right.
So it's a misdemeanor offense in Hawaii. So it is out. It's not just poor behavior. It's actually outlawed.
Mm-hmm.
This means he can get up to 1 year in jail and a fine on the first offense, no less than $250. But this guy needs to be adequately shamed, and I will publish that video as well. But look, I get on Instagram now. I see the most insane people. Lifting a turtle is only bad for the turtle environment. It's not going to hurt the dude. I mean, unless it bites him. But I see people in Yosemite going toe to toe with a bull, or with a moose, or a pack of wolves, a bull moose is what I meant, a male moose. But they'll be like going to get a photo op standing within 10 feet of a moose. Or I saw one last week, which was like a pack of wolves. And the guy got out of the car to go check out a pack of wolves in their environment. And I just don't understand how stupid people can be.
Yeah, not a good idea. But you know what? We'll never run out of stupidity, apparently.
It's good for Instagram.
As long as I'm here, you're safe.
Leave wildlife alone. So that is the kook. And then Must See Moment presented by Treeswax. Oh, by the way, Treeswax, as of today, is officially doing a 50%. We were always doing 20% off with the promo code SPIT.
Yeah.
They are increasing that discount to 50%, which
unreal.
Which is now the time. So treeswax.com, discount SPIT is the promo code. Money back guarantee when you buy online. And then he said also, Christian said they always do throw in a 6-pack of wax if you make a beanie or a hat purchase. They always throw in a 6-pack of wax with those purchases, which we've never talked about before, but he said they always do that. So enjoy that as well.
You know what? I have my Treeswax beanie around here somewhere, and I absolutely love it. And it's
Me too.
Soft wool, and it's one of those ones where you're like, that one's comfortable, and you grab at it,
And as part of their, eco-friendly focus, the tag on it, the Treeswax tag, is made out of cork. I don't know if you noticed that on your beanie.
That's awesome.
There you go. So Trees, the reason why it's called trees wax is it's petroleum free. It's made from wax or from trees and rocks, and the only petroleum free high performance surf wax on the market. Anyways, my must see moment presented by them is Huey Vaughn's backflip in the pool. Huey Vaughn has won the Stab Mag or Stab High, and he's an incredible all round surfer, but he's really become known for these airs that he's doing. And he does the most wild, high, high amplitude rotation that I've ever seen in a pool. And that is my must see moment.
Well, that sounds exciting. Huey Vaughn doing crazy things. He's all of like a buck 40, and I think he's probably 18 years old or something. He's just next level.
That helps.
Yeah. You know, Tommy James and the Shondells.
I
Can you
do.
name one of their great songs?
I know him. I can't name it off the top of my head.
How about Crystal Blue Persuasion? Uh-huh. That's what it's like here right now, David. Crystal Blue Persuasion. It's beautiful, high pressure building in, warming air temps, fun 3, 4, 5 foot of surf in San Diego. And the wind's going to be light all day. It's just one of those gorgeous winter days, and looks like a fun day for surfing.
Winter or autumn?
Right. I mean, in San Diego, it's kind of like it's either summer or it's winter. There is no
Oh,
autumn
okay.
or fall or
I was gonna
spring.
say, what is it officially though?
Officially, it's still fall,
When does winter start?
December 21st.
Good for you, man. I had to Google it.
Dude,
Wait,
I'm the surf reporter. I got to know the weather and the moon phases, all of that stuff.
look, I
I'm excited.
underestimated you. I apologize.
It's not easy to do to underestimate me.
Mhm. All right,
Um,
Scott.
yeah, look, until next time, David, we've said a lot. Lots been talked about. Adios and aloha.